Let's see here. Over the weekend, the DC FANDOME took place. And we got some new video games out of it.
I was pretty impressed by what came out of the FANDOME.
Yeah.
FANDOME lived up to expectations.
Minus the shitty Snyder cut trailer. Everything else was cool.
I didn't even look at that.
I still haven't seen Batman vs Superman.
I immediately saw the infamous still from that trailer ending up on like 1998 graphics card boxes and like Nintendo 64 cover art and stuff like that. I don't know.
I'm just genuinely impressed that this whole thing, speaking of crawling up your own ass, this whole thing is just such a fucking circle jerk that like they literally used Hallelujah in the trailer. Like, dude, you're doing karaoke of yourself.
Yes.
Did I understand correctly that cut is like 4 hours long?
Yes. It's supposed to be 4 hours, at least 4 hours long.
Why?
Wow.
Because he had that much footage, guys.
It's Justice League. It's Justice League.
Okay.
I don't even like DC that much, and
no more movies longer than 2 hours. If your movie is longer than 2 hours, it is now banned. Yes. Sorry,
you have to pay me an additional $5 for every minute it goes over 2 hours. That's the deal.
Is 75 minutes, and I'm very excited for that.
You know what? I bet that's going to be a killer 75 minutes.
Very tight 75 minutes.
Somebody has to go back in time and take out Peter Jackson. This trend has ruined movie making.
Let's just include an intermission, and it might be okay.
Well, what if I told you could kill the Justice League?
Oh, thank God.
Well,
kill the Snyder cut while I'm at it.
The Rocksteady, I mean, you know, both of these games basically have leaked all over the place, and it's not a huge surprise what these are, but the Rocksteady game that they've been working on for like 5 years finally got announced. It is Suicide Squad to kill the Justice League. They put out a cinematic trailer that doesn't really show what the game is like so much. Other than
I did like that trailer though. It had some charm to it.
A little bit. I using Bombs Over Baghdad in a video game trailer in 2020 is a choice for sure.
And it wasn't like a slowed down cover of it.
No.
They just used
I do appreciate that.
Here's the song. Evil Superman. I don't know if I don't know shit about DC outside of Batman. I don't know what the significance of Evil Superman is, but
well, he didn't look like Bizarro Superman, so he's probably has his mind infected.
He's got the purple kryptonite.
Brainiac, I believe.
Oh, Brainiac!
Yeah.
Oh, Brainiac.
No, that guy's a motherfucker.
See, I think this is a huge bummer because I think that if you're gonna do this bit where you're taking the Suicide Squad and you're pitting them against the Justice League, and you're saying take out the Justice League, like don't turn this into it's evil Superman, so that's why this is happening. Like, no, just say, okay, yeah, no, the ragtag crew of anti-hero bad guys are just going to kill the Justice League. Like, that's the game. Like, just go all the way with it. Say, like, okay, what happens if they actually do that? What happens if they just go out and kill the Justice League? What do they do? Where does the DC universe go from there? That's an interesting idea. Going after evil Superman is just so hack. That shit is so hack.
I agree. I agree, and I bet it like 100% was a DC mandate that they couldn't kill.
I'm sure. That's the thing. I know there's license limitations that you are inevitably dealing with.
License holders ruin everything. They don't let you bust up their cars. They don't let you kill Superman. What the fuck?
Yeah. That being said, Samoa Joe is a voice in the game, and that's pretty
great.
Okay.
Who's he voicing?
King Shark.
I was just about to say, like, there's a Shark Man on that squad.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
They maybe missed out by not getting Ron Funches for that, but I think Samoa Joe is also a very good choice for that.
That is a 2022 game. That year sounds made up to me.
I watched the trailer with my partner, and then when they dropped the 2022 date at the end, she just looked at me and asked, like, why would they even put this out? She was just incredulous, like, why even bother? And then I had to explain the leaks coming out and Rocksteady being pressured.
It is a bold move to assume we are still going to have video games in 2022.
Yeah.
I respect the moxie. I respect the confidence, but I don't know.
Or still be using the Gregorian calendar at that point.
I know.
The state of the world is going to be at that point. Anyway, it is a full-on next-gen game. No PS4 Xbox One X versions, PS5 and Series X only, and PC. They describe it as an action-adventure shooter with 1 to 4 player co-op. So
Okay.
I kind of all this time just assumed it would be another Arkham Asylum-ish type game, but no. More of a shooter multiplayer kind of thing. Says you'll be able to switch between characters if you're playing by yourself. You can take over AI back and forth. So I don't know. I guess that sounds different, at least.
Yeah.
All 4 of those members that they have could play very radically differently than each other. They have like Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and
Deadshot.
Have they said if there will be other characters, or is it just those 4?
I think it's just going to be those 4.
I imagine they do an Avengers style thing where they'll have their core 4 and then maybe slowly roll in some other ones. Because like the new Suicide Squad movie has like 14 members of the squad or whatever.
Yeah, Pete Davidson and John Cena.
God.
That little
That's
snippet.
the one DC thing I'm excited for. Who could have predicted way?
It's the second most exciting John Cena related thing for me, though, because Fast 9 is still coming out next year, and I'm really looking forward to figuring out how they fucking try and ram that square peg into a round hole, because, boy, John Cena as menacing villain is one of the most hilarious ideas I can think of.
Yeah. There has been some reporting around Rocksteady and some internal issues they've had around sexual harassment over the last couple 3 years. It sounds like the majority of this stuff came to a head in 2018. And it's an interesting, it's kind of a confusing situation because like most people involved seem to say that it was dealt with internally at the time. But then some of the stuff has been made public recently, but then the studio put out a statement saying that some of the people who made the initial allegations did not want it made public. So it's like kind of hard to figure out how to approach this stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. And I will say, I'll just say for my part that going out there and putting that on your official Twitter account, like the letter from the signees saying like, hey, we didn't want this to go public as
like
a PR move is a strange one.
Yes, you have to take it with a grain of salt coming from kind of faceless studio management, I think. But there does seem to be some indication that they have been working internally to try to address this stuff. So yeah. The other game is Gotham Knights, which is from the Warner Brothers Montreal studio, I believe.
Yes.
Which also is a 4-player game?
It's a 2-player game.
Oh, is it 2-player only? Does it top out?
It's 2-player.
Okay.
Yes. It's, what is it, Nightwing and Batgirl?
Yes, Robin.
With also Robin and Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Okay.
I don't know. What do y'all think of that?
I'm kind of excited. It looks really good. It's been rumored for a while now that the Court of Owls would be the villains in it. I like one of the features they're lauding is that Batman is dead.
And I'm sure he'll remain dead the entire game, and there will be no Batman at all, just like when the Joker was dead and he stayed dead forever.
Yep.
Oh, but what if they do? What if they do let him just be dead in that game? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that really be something?
That would give the Suicide Squad one less Justice League member to kill.
Exactly.
There you go.
They can focus on Cyborg.
Oh, poor Cyborg.
I know. I feel bad for Cyborg.
Booyah.
But yeah, like I watched that gameplay demo, and I will say, as someone who did not like Batman Origins very much at all, that actually looked like a lot of fun. Like, and also as someone who has not reacted to the recent, all the enemies have numbers, and here's your epic gear ification of superhero games recently. That game still looked pretty fun from the demo they showed.
It's full on that, isn't it? There are totally damaged numbers, and did they say loot? Like, is that actually?
I didn't see much about the loot, but there's definitely like enemy levels and numbers.
Do you know if this gameplay demo is edited or if this is just straight footage? Because there's at least one point in here where it's like 2 characters are kind of walking side by side, and then the screen sort of dynamically splits to show what they're doing separately. Is that? Did you get a sense if that's actually part of the game, or is that just like?
I want to say that's edited.
That's that's kind of what
probably edited.
That's what I assumed. I'll give it to both of these games are not just more like Batman Arkham with different characters subbed in, which is kind of all I expected. So
yeah, Red Hood just straight up shoots people.
Yeah. Dude's got guns.
Yeah.
Do you think these are service games?
Brad, you know they're service
Do I even
games.
need to
They're
ask
all
that
service
question?
games now, man.
Before they were
Always
fan
have
service games, now they're just service games.
If it's got
We're all service games down here, man.
if it's got multiplayer and multiple characters and a loot, it's probably got a service attached to it.
We've got a battle pass.
Oh,
Huh?
All right, hang on. Let me just write this down as a possible episode title. Would I just to get the point across? You would say like bat-TLE pass, right? Is that
Yep.
the way to?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then parentheses like a battle pass, but with bat for Batman.
All right. Good. Got that out of the way. Just a little housekeeping there. Okay. Yeah, I think that was pretty much the extent of the video game stuff at the FANDOME for this year.